Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Nicole Brewster about RENFORTH Resources. Nicole, how are you today?
Good, thanks. Happy to be here.
Nicole, I saw you in London, and of course, you were really talking about nickel and zinc and your polymetallic deposit. Where should we start? You want to talk about your most recent news release?
Of course. Yeah, we can certainly start there. We announced that the nickel zinc polymetallic resource calculation excluded platinum and palladium, so our geologists were just in the field pulling our witness core for testing for platinum and palladium, which we know to be present. And of course, as you can appreciate, the value of those metals, any occurrence does have a material effect on the value per ton of the mineralized package that is Victoria. So we've sent that off to the lab and we'll know in the new year what sort of numbers we have. And the next MRE will reflect those PGE metals as well.
I thought it was of great significance, of course, that you have completed your 43101 technical report for the Malartic metals package. Can you tell us about this, please?
Yeah, the technical report spoke to the entirety of the property, which is 300 square kilometers. So as you can appreciate, there's quite a bit happening. In the north, we have our Beaupré copper discovery proximal to the Cadillac Break. Central area of the property spoken to in the technical report is the Lac Gold Zone, which is a historic gold showing. It's been drilled. It's the margins of an intrusive hitting the Pontiac sediments and endowing it with what was drilled as relatively low grade but long intercept gold results. We've not seen that on surface. Then as you move to the south, we have our Lalonde and our Victoria structures, which are probably arms of a fold, which is right off the nose being right off our property on our neighbor Agnico Eagle's Canadian Malartic ground. However, Lalonde we've drilled, and then Victoria, 20 kilometers long, we've declared a maiden resource in that technical report over 2.5 kilometers with only 10,000 meters of drilling. So widely spaced drilling, deepest pierce point's only slightly below 200 meters. However, the technical report presents mineralization all within an open pit. 125 million tons, 0.15% nickel equivalent, which it's a pure polymetallic. It's an ultramafic, giving us nickel, cobalt, platinum, and palladium, interlayered with a VMS, a black shale, giving us zinc, copper, silver, and gold. Within the 2.5 kilometers we drilled, the structure dilates north-south between 150 and 500 meters as we see up to three stacked repetitions of the structure. It's early days, let me be clear. With 10,000 meters over 2.5 kilometers, our drill footprint did not allow us, we didn't go back and follow up on some teasing results. We got like 3.4% nickel or 0.94% copper. In fact, we have one drill hole that now that we have the 3D model done, we see one drill hole which delivered that 0.94% copper ended in the mineralized zone. So we do have some follow-up work to do. You'll see us start that in the new year. But it's very exciting. The mineralization's on surface. The mineralization extends below the open pit, but the resource is all within the open pit. So lots to do, lots to come. Hydroelectric power runs right over that deposit. And we drilled from the road to the west 2.5 kilometers in a completely arbitrary fashion. There was some historic open pits and a couple drill holes in the 80s in the area. So this is going to be an exciting story. Lots to come.
Nicole, Renforth is relatively new to me, and it's my understanding that you are a geologist that became a shareholder and then became the CEO of the company. Is that correct?
No, I was not a geologist. I was raised by a geologist, and it's pretty much the world I grew up in. But I am a contractor. I do custom exploration work. I'm very good at logistics and running things on a budget, though that might be my Scottish background as much as anything. Um, and I did go from being a consultant to being the president of Remforth because Remforth owed myself and my partner a lot of money. So we became the largest shareholders. I'm still the largest retail shareholder myself. Um, I've built a company that is retail shareholders. Our shareholder base is largely in the province of Quebec. It's largely high net worth individuals who understand the story. They see the potential development of the story and are prepared to give it the timeline that it requires to bring it towards development.
So, what elements in Renforth have drawn you in so that you have become the largest retail shareholder of Renforth?
Initially, when I became president, I acquired a gold property which a mentor of the family had held. I declared the maiden resource and did sufficient exploration to sell that to the neighbor at a profit. We then acquired Parbeck, and we declared the maiden resource on Parbeck, and we've done additional work on Parbeck. Then I staked the ground to form the Victoria showing, well, the Malartic Metals package property. These assets are all 100% owned, and we've declared the maiden resource at Victoria. What draws me in, I think, suffice to say, it's the reality of discovery. It's the ability to prove new assets, to demonstrate value where no value existed before, and to create value for shareholders, myself included.
Your most recent news release was about Parbeck, and you were talking about the gold deposit. And of course, gold, everybody's talking about gold. And of course, you've got the platinum group of elements. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you're planning on taking this project forward in 2026?
So Parbeck is an open pit gold deposit. It benefits from being next door to Canada's largest open pit gold mine, where they've announced a fill the mill strategy. Ultimately, I think it's safe to say Parbeck will go through the Canadian Malartic infrastructure. They need the ounces. Prior to it going through, we have the opportunity to continue to add some value or to monetize it through selling it to another group who wants to do the value add exercise. We've started the permitting to go underground to take a bulk sample to process that for metallurgical purposes and recovery of gold. The permitting for that's going to take us well into next year. At the same time, we're working on the surface where we've uncovered our fault into the Pontiac, which is a baby lookalike to next door. That fault's associated with gold. So you'll see us continue our conventional exploration on the gold asset. It's hard not to in a $4,200 per ounce gold environment. And don't forget, we have a resource we calculated at $2,100 per ounce. And it's all in it's largely 79% are measured and indicated ounces in an open pit. You can build on that asset. You could take that asset to PEA, PFS. We're not going to do so yet. Ultimately, I think that's the job for our neighbor. In the meantime, we will probably add some value. We will look to monetize that asset, and we'll do so in order to pursue the critical minerals asset, which is a district scale asset. It's probably got decades of operation ahead of it. It's really tomorrow's story. So that is our long-term goal. And in the meantime, I may monetize a second gold asset in order to fulfill, the longer term vision.
So, what should shareholders be looking forward to in the upcoming quarter, Nicole?
The permitting process moving forwards, it's not terribly exciting. It's just reality. Um, Although Quebec has just changed, they just signed Bill 5 and they've changed their permitting regime to expedite projects of interest. Not sure, don't have a legal opinion on whether that will help Parbeck. However, it will certainly help Victoria when we get there. Additionally, we will continue our surface stripping at Parbeck, looking at that gold-bearing structure that goes into the Pontiac and possibly lines up with our neighbors' active drilling in the Pontiac right now. In addition to that, you'll see us starting to do some more drilling at Victoria to fill in the 2.5 kilometer footprint we've commenced working with. We'll follow up on results like 3.4% nickel or 0.94% copper. Both of those are very interesting numbers, unique within the deposit, but they're single drill holes that we have to revisit and drill around and do conventional exploration. So what will you see? You'll see ongoing conventional exploration. You'll see the platinum and palladium results. You'll see some activity at Parbeck. You'll see lots of things happening if you want to watch a grassroots, pure exploration play as it develops value. Watch Renforth.
And on that, for more information on Renforth resources, please go to the following website. Thank you, Nicole, for your update.